Tennet from Christopher Nolan came out this weekend, and I was able to go see it at the theater. I've been excited about this movie for a really long time. I've also been a Christopher Nolan fan for a really long time. Heck, even on this podcast that we do on this channel, Josh's House of Nerd podcast. We just did, and we're doing a month on heist movies. And we did, my heist movie that I picked that I wanted to do was Inception, because I love that movie, so much. And you can see by Inception and Interstellar, Memento, that Christopher Nolan has kind of a fascination of a time. Like in Interstellar, for example, he shows how time dilation with black holes and space phenomenon affect reality, affect the astronauts themselves, and how their families are aging faster than them because of time dilation. That's an interesting topic on that one, and the effects that happens with that. Inception, he talks about dreams, of course, and how each one of those dream layers that they go down into, time is affected as they go down through them. Time is normal in the outside world, but in each level of each dream, they are able to, time slows down a little bit more. And like in Limbo, where Cobb goes at the end, he said he was down there something like 50 years. And it had only been like 10 minutes or something like that. Just an amazing thing. Heck, even in a movie like Memento, Christopher Nolan talks about, kind of does things in a weird kind of time fashion. He kind of goes backwards with the story, which is kind of an odd way to tell a story, but it works. Christopher Nolan made that work so well. And Tennet, again, I think he made it work so well. This is a movie that deals with different forms of time manipulation. I've seen a lot of reviewers say that, it's kind of like all of his movies kind of like come into like all in one. And I would kind of, say the same thing. There's lots of aspects of some of these other movies I've mentioned, Interstellar, Inception, Memento, that are all kind of here, in Tennet itself. So let's talk about Tennet. What is Tennet? Tennet is a movie that, well, first of all, before we go on, I want to say spoilers. We're definitely going to talk about the movie here. I don't think I'm going to talk about every aspect of the movie. I don't know if I necessarily want to give a 100% synopsis of the movie, but we're definitely going to talk about the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, stop watching right here and then come back later and let's talk about the movie. Let's see what's going on in the movie, because the movie is worth it. It's worth going into not knowing much about this movie. This movie has kind of so many surprises, so many things that you have to kind of figure out intellectually. And I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I like figuring out a movie as you go. I don't like everything handed to me, in a movie where I don't have to figure it out. That's what makes this movie kind of fun. You do have to think about it. You do have to figure out what's going on, and that's okay. You will be lost sometimes, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because the more and more that you get into the movie, the more you understand. I remember getting to the end of this movie with my cousin that I went with and his son, and we were all sitting there just kind of sitting in the movie theater, kind of, going, okay, what's going on with this part? What happened with this part? And we all kind of pieced everything together about what happened in this movie, because, you have to really think about it. You have to really break it down. So let's break down a little bit of things about this movie. The overall idea of this movie is to prevent World War III because of this technology. Now, this technology was found originally by a man named Sater. who found this technology that was sent back in his hometown in Russia, and he's been using this technology to kind of further himself. And you also find out in the movie that he has pancreatic cancer. And what he does is he figures out this technology, and also an item that got sent back from the future that they just call the algorithm. And the algorithm is something that you can put together, and that it will kind of nullify all time and space. The other issue that they have is that they talk about a little bit, and they don't talk about this a lot, but if there's too much reverse entropy items going backwards in time, it could nullify all the normal stuff going forward in time. So they talk about that just a little bit, and that part was a little confusing to me. But the protagonist, who is the main guy that is going through time, he finds out that he's trying to basically prevent World War III. And really, it's really just to prevent this guy from ending the world using this technology. And you go throughout the rest of the movie finding out like how this satyr got this technology, how they get to him, and how he's using this technology to go forwards and backwards in time to forwards and backwards in time to kind of like elevate himself. Now, because he has pancreatic cancer, he is in this idea that if he can't be in the world, he doesn't want the world to exist, even though his son is existing. He doesn't have a good relationship with his wife, so his idea is to go back to a time where him and his wife were good, and then blow up the world basically with the algorithm and with the plutonium that they are looking for in this movie, to go and just basically nullify the world. So let's just say that if it felt like it was a little hard to explain kind of like the overall idea of this movie, it is. And this movie it's tough to follow, but it's worth it, because if you get through it and to the end, you'll feel like you made it through in a good way. You'll feel confused still. You'll feel like, there's lots more that you need to probably figure out. You need to, find out whatever, but it's, in my opinion, fulfilling. And it's one of those ones you can watch many, 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 many times. There is a pretty neat scene at the end of the movie. And I'm not going to go into total everything explanation about this movie, but this movie, at the end of the movie, they're trying to prevent this algorithm from being exploded and ending the world. And there is this absolute amazing scene where you see a building like it blown up, it gets reversed, and then you see like the bottom blows up, and then it gets like reversed, and then the top blows up, but the bottom's there again. It is like this magical thing. This movie has some of like the neatest like time travel special effects of all time, because at the same time you're seeing things go backward, you're seeing things go forward, and it's all happening at the same time. And it's incredible how they do it. And I know I just gave you like the basic kind of like idea of the story, but the way that he prevents World War III using this kind of like this time travel, this reverse entropy technology that they have in this movie is just amazing. So I highly recommend this movie. Please go see this movie. Our theater industry really could use our support. And honestly, I went to a theater with this movie that was, there was quite a few people there, but definitely social distancing, all that stuff. Take whatever precautions that you can take to go see this movie, but see this movie. It's fantastic. and I highly recommend it. Go there with a thinking cap on, but also go there with the knowledge of there is some kick butt action scenes in there. You can't go wrong with these kick butt action scenes. Go there for that as well. Just know you'll probably have to think about this movie a little bit because it is mind-bending in so many ways. If I were to give this movie a rating, I would say I would give it probably an A-. And the reason I would give it an A- is I'm going to give it an A just because all the visuals, the story, everything is good. The minus is sometimes it's a little hard to hear some of the dialogue. And sometimes the story is a little hard to kind of put together. So that's why I give this movie an A-. So anyways, that's my review of Tennet. Go out and see it. I think you'll find it to be amazing. And support your local theaters if you have one that's open. I think it's important to support these. I know that we, as a family here, continue to support our local theater. Our theaters are open here for the most part. Most of them are anyway. And we've been trying to take advantage when we can as possible. So go out and support your local theaters. And I'll leave that with you. And please keep watching for these movie reviews. This is my first one without doing a full podcast. And hopefully I'll be able to continue out more and get better and better at them. And as always, may you be excellent to each other and live long and prosper from here at Josh's House of Nerd. Have a good day. Go see Tennet. Bye.
Thanks for watching. For more nerdy awesomeness, please like and subscribe and